Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the finals of the 2021 Lockout Bingo Free-For-All. Today featuring Fazerlazer, Jalapinecone, Badroenis, and Xein 64. With me in the booth is none other than Electric. Electric, how are you feeling about this match today?
Pretty excited to see some bingo action here. It's been a while since I've been witness to some bingo, but it's always an exciting category. Obviously, as you said, we've got a number of big names here since this is the finals. This is the last round of our bingo tournament. I'm pretty pumped for whatever this card is going to end up offering. I think Lockout is a really interesting format for bingo, and so I'm just excited to see what these finals have in store.
And I am as well. This, of course, should be, as the finals, should be a very, very good, very close, hopefully a very, very nice match overall. Should be getting the runners starting here in momentarily. Okay. Yeah, it would appear everyone is ready to go. We're just waiting on the countdown.
And we'll be revealing the bingo card right whenever all these runners get started here. So for those who may not be familiar with the format that we've got going here, this is going to be a 3-round lockout bingo challenge. So with lockout bingo, the spaces on the board, you're just trying to accomplish a goal before anyone else does. Once a goal has been accomplished by someone, no one else is going to be able to accomplish that goal and have it count for them. So if there's a goal that you've got in mind that you think like this is an easy one, I want to go ahead and do this, you want to do it fast because someone else could potentially steal it and that's something that you can't use anymore. These players have 30 minutes to lock out as much of the board as they can, and then at that point, the spaces that are currently occupied by someone will go ahead and be tallied up. We'll have like a first, second, third, fourth for that round. They'll be assigned points based on their placement in a round, and then whoever has the most points at the end of 3 rounds wins the whole finals. So, the goals that you have to accomplish on the card can vary pretty wildly from get X number of stars in so many stages, get the 100 coins in so many stages, obtain a certain number of 1-ups, lose Mario's hat. That there are a lot of just different objectives that can be put in place. And what's really interesting here is in normal bingo, there's a lot of like decision making that has to be done regarding lines, like what line looks the best, or in the case of like multi-bingos, what sets of lines really synergize well. But in this kind of like lockout format, it's really a lot more like what goals can I get before anyone else can, and like kind of string these all together. And it's a lot of freedom in how exactly you're choosing your route, but a lot of decisions you're having to make as well, and a lot of opportunities to make mistakes and like just poor decision with routing.
Indeed. So I do believe we have a prize pool for this match sponsored by none other than UAP, which we'll get to in a moment here. I believe the prize pool total is $250. 175 goes to first, 50 to second, and 25 to third, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Okay.
That's like you said, 175 for first, 50 second, 25 for third. And like you had mentioned, we're being sponsored for this in all of our tournaments right now by the United Arts Partnership, or UAP, the Urban Arts Partnership, my bad. They're a multiple-year college prep program that teaches students both in arts and technology, kind of through the lens of video game development. So it's not just like a game-making boot camp or something like that. It's supposed to like prepare kids for going into like STEM sort of fields in college, but specifically using like different projects and stuff with video games, kind of like piggybacking off that natural interest that a lot of kids have in games to like teach them things like programming or like other tech sort of concepts. And they do a lot of really, really good work to help students, especially in underserved communities that may not end up having opportunities to go to college otherwise. So they're a really, really great organization. We have a couple of exclamation point commands where you can learn more about them. They're an awesome partnership, and we're glad to have them sponsoring this tournament. And it looks like we've got just everyone just kind of performing little last setup things here. We'll be good to go in just a moment.
Phaser making sure to have their
runners too.
Phaser making sure to have their audio on the mono setting, making sure to save, I believe, 4 lag frames, something minuscule.
All because the console doesn't have to bother generating positional audio. Is it really just 4 lag frames? I thought it was a little more than that, but
I have no clue what it is. I'm just pulling numbers out of my butt right now.
I think it's just like in instances of really severe lag, it can like slightly reduce the amount of lag, but I have no idea if anyone's ever like really gone in-depth timing it.
I'm sure someone has, but I have no clue where we could find that information.
Got Jalapinecone just vibing. Yeah, no, I'm sure mono doesn't save like a ton of time. One thing that's kind of interesting to do too is in Usamune, there are some conditions where there won't be music whenever you respawn. I think it's like if you L reset in like whenever you go through a loading transition or something. And in stages that have a lot of lag from like camera angles and stuff, the lag is way reduced if you play through with the music off like that. Because I think it's just something with like when you do that loading transition, the background music just doesn't reactivate. So like that entire processing power isn't being used, and it's a very noticeable amount of lag difference. Like Fire Sea, if you have your cam turned kind of the wrong way and you get a lot of lag towards the start, that lag is virtually gone whenever you have the music off like that.
Interesting.
That's, I think, why. I'm pretty sure no music codes are banned now in single star, and that's why, since it would save a lot of lag frames. But
yeah,
getting started just momentarily
might be able to.
Go ahead. Sorry.
So yeah, you might be able to submit it as best IGT for single star, if I'm not mistaken. But I mean, yeah, real-time records won't be accepted.
Yeah.
With that.
I'm really anxious to see what bingo card they end up getting. Like, of course, you know, practically, how would you be able to show the card to the commentators without showing it to the runners? But I do wish that we would be able to see it before the run actually started. All right, and to go ahead, so like we've got the colors on screen as well. Just to go ahead and point out, whenever the card does load and they start marking things, the markings will be color assigned, and so the colors will be the same as the runners' names on the layout. And we'll try to go ahead and point out who is claiming what, just for those that may not be able to differentiate the colors. Hello, Funky Ace. I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm doing all right, Funky Ace. Thank you for asking. You are a very kind person, as I can tell from that first impression.
Us commentators have been locked in this booth for months and months, and this is the first time anyone's ever asked how we're doing. Please send help. We just want running water again. It's kind of weird. I haven't commed bingo since like some of the first times that I was doing commentary on this channel. Oh, and we're going to go ahead and get started now. All right, so we can go ahead and see the card. Boy. 120 coins in one stage is kind of an interesting objective. Stages like
120 and 130.
An overabundance of coins. Yeah, we've got.
Yours truly, Princess.
Okay, 6 stars in Wet Dry World. That would require you to go to town for something, and so that would take a bit of time there, and you'd have to have multiple caps for that. That one I think is going to be a bit more undesirable on this one.
Probably. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of all-stars from stages on this card here, which, I mean, probably could do all in CCN. That one's not too bad. But the others are a little on the slower side.
Luzmar is how you're going to have to go upstairs for. And keep in mind, with standard bingo rules, LBLJ and SBLJ aren't allowed. So, is there a way to... Yeah, you can have Klepto steal your hat in the basement. Okay. So, but you will have to get at least 8 stars before a goal like that would be achievable. I don't think we have any castle goals, so...
Doesn't look like it.
Phaser getting moated.
Oh.
Very, very weird way to start out this bingo race. That I think in bingo that would be a slightly less bad thing than in a normal run. Strategic moating. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and just get Bomb Clip out of the way. We need to have some more castle mobility, and the only real way to do that with no LBLJ, of course, is to just get Bomb Clip. Now, Let's see. We do have All-Stars and BOB as an objective, so we'll see if anyone decides to stay around in BOB. Xein having to flip around with the bomb there and not able to get his angle right there. He knew that he didn't have too long on the fuse, so he just wanted to go with whatever angle he had there. Unfortunately, not quite the steep angle he needed.
Is able to get a second try as Jalapinecone is going to be the first one. Excuse me, Badroenis will be the first one in Womps here. Jalapinecone right behind him.
Yeah. And Phaser having a lot of issues just clipping into this cage here. I'm trying to look. I think
losing his
only
angle the last
All-Stars
second there.
BOB. Yeah, he's just going to go ahead and take the L and take the log here. Smart accounting for that Xein chomp there, able to just jump right over him.
Yeah, it's a very smart play there, and
so we've got
anticipating.
Badroenis is trying to get 100 coins as quickly as he possibly can. And I think either Hala didn't really plan for this or just, went ahead and accepted the L here. Because, yeah, you see Badroenis is going for that 120 coins in one stage immediately. I think this is kind of the smart decision. Since this stage has an overabundance of coins. As soon as I saw that objective, this is one of the first stages I thought of. I think it was like 140 something here.
141, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is also 130 coins on this card as well, so...
And it halfway looks like Xein may be trying to also hit that goal, but I'm not sure if Xein will be able to alongside Badroenis going for it a bit faster.
Yeah, we
He's
kind of
already
pretty
up
close.
20 coins.
Yeah, Badroenis definitely has the edge over him right now.
Alright. Now, where are the last 20 going to come from? Well, I think he already has his extras. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, he already got... Badroenis already killed both the Womps, so there's his extra coins there.
Yeah.
So now it's just regular.
And then he did
100 coin.
multiple kicks on both Womps, so yeah, he's already got 20 more, for sure.
Yeah.
He's about to go ahead and, yeah.
Yeah, it's already marked both of them there.
Both 120 and 130. That's a very, very big power play immediately. Just going to go ahead and get 2 stars out of the way while competitors are kind of just going all over the place for different other things. Now, is there a... Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's a... Doesn't it look like there's any other goal that 100 coin would be relevant for? I don't see any goals
Yeah, it doesn't
on this
look like it to me.
So... I think, these other players that kind of started 100 coin, I'm not sure how well all these players are keeping track of where every other runner is at, but, yeah, I don't know. As soon as Badroenis marked that, I probably would have dropped 100 coin immediately. The star count will be useful, having those extra stars around, but...
Yeah, it's still at least beneficial to at least have those stars so you can advance to later stages in the game, but still is unfortunate to go through all that work to get close to getting those tasks completed, but still having it be in vain, ultimately.
Yeah. And so I would think that the prudent play here would be to try to leave Womps as soon as possible, given there aren't any other real goals you could achieve here. There is open 7 cannons, which I think the bomb I forget when exactly the bomb spawns. It's either on star 2 or 3.
It's on 3, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I know the owl is on 3, so I would imagine the bomb as well. Yeah, it's a lockout, so only one person can hit each goal. Yep. So we've got Jalapinecone already advancing over in the CCM. And so we've got All-Stars and CCM as a goal. That might be what he's going to go ahead and go for here. This isn't one of the worst goals, to be honest with you.
Yeah, CCM is by far one of the faster stages. Not the fastest in the game, but still, it's probably up there for full stage
Going with
completion.
the very, very basic strat on wall kicks will work. I highly encourage all new runners to at least look into the low dive version of the pro strat, because it's about as consistent as this, and it still saves time, like about 1.5 seconds over it. That's my daily proselytizing for strats.
And Xein will also be heading into CCM now. Maybe a race here between Jalapinecone and Xein for that all-in-CCM objective.
Very well could be. And if that's I mean, Jalapinecone does have some advantage getting there first, but I certainly think that, he's got his work cut out for him compared to Xein.
For sure. And it really could just take one...
Interesting camera work on wall kicks will work.
Yeah, that was something there. But yeah, for Jalapinecone, he does have the edge for sure on Xein right now, but just one mishap on 100 coin, if he is going for all in CCM, that could be enough to... It would definitely be enough to set him back and let Xein take over and get that objective before him.
Now, I'm
but
kind
he'll
of
be.
wondering, it seems like Badroenis is getting every star in Womps. I'm kind of wondering what the deal is with that.
Yeah, Jalapinecone is not going for all in CCM, heading into Dark World now. We'll see if Xein will opt to finish out the stars.
Yeah, because I do think All Stars in CCM isn't too bad of a goal. Not sure if 6 and Wet Dry World would be faster or not.
And the only reason I could give that they won't go for it is just because you are spending a lot of extra time in the lobby if you do go for it, so you are potentially costing yourself an opportunity for the later objectives
Right.
in basement and upstairs.
Which it looks like Hala will be the first with some basement mobility. We'll see what exactly he decides to do with it. Red Coinstar and Red Coinstar and SSL and lose Mario's hat would not be a bad combination to try to go for. Like just go through, or you would need to go ahead and get Wing Cap if you wanted to get Red Coinstar and SSL.
Yeah, if you're going to
Star
lose
number
your
1
hat,
from
you're
each
going to have
stage.
to.
Star number 1 from that stage, I believe, is just Shiny Top. Oh, Badroenis taking a pretty rough death there. Just had a bit too much speed on that kick attempt.
And Phaser just... I'm not too sure what was going on there. He just slid completely off the side of the stage there.
Yeah, and Xein's just going to go ahead and claim All-Stars in CCM, and I would not be trying to contest this one against Xein, since Xein knows this stage decently well enough that, like, you'd be kind of hard-pressed to actually be able to beat him in this stage.
Yeah, he is one of the top 120 runners in the world currently, I believe with a 145 3x. I forget what his PB is, but somewhere in that range.
And, like, you might initially think, like, oh, that's minutes and minutes off of record, but, like, to get to the 140s, you have to pretty well know what you're doing in each stage.
For sure.
Xein, of course, is very proficient at 70, which does most of CCM. Reds wasn't the greatest, but it worked out for him. And, I mean, he doesn't really have any contest here. Let's see. Hala is going over for... Oh, this is the first star in... Okay.
It is, yeah. You also do need to get the star for Klepto to be able to take your hat, so potentially we'll be going
Hala
for...
end up getting the slide skip star in CCM? Because that would be star number 1 in that stage.
I wasn't watching that part.
Because
Oh, but yeah, it would be if he did.
I saw him go for Penguin. I don't think he did, because I saw him go for Wall Kicks Will Work and then for Penguin. Unless he ended up leaving Womps with less stars than normal in, like, the no LBLJ route. No one's gonna do that goal. That kind of makes sense.
You really have to focus all your energy specifically on that one goal for that to work, as Jalapinecone did opt to lose his hat there. Cannot get it back.
What a rough death from Phaser.
Oof. That's an unfortunate one.
In Dark World.
Yeah, we're seeing Jalapinecone potentially maybe going for cannons as well. He did open the cannon right after losing his hat. I don't think he's opened any other cannons so far, so...
Now, one thing that Hala, of course, does have the lose Mario's hat goal now, but every single star animation is now going to take longer because of it. So, and that's a pretty considerable difference. So that was one of those goals that it's like, you want to do it for sure because it's going to be very fast, but how soon do you want to do it? Because you will be losing significant time later on.
Right.
It's kind of, in this case, just time that they can't devote towards another goal while, the clock is ticking towards that 30-minute limit. And that is one thing that has been pointed out to me is that the runners aren't actually able to see what each other are doing. They're just able to see what's happening with the card. So that's another kind of interesting dynamic. You have to decide, like, would my opponents be going for this immediately or not? The obvious best choices for spaces are the ones that you're kind of going to be wary of. Like, if I go towards this goal, someone else is probably going to be doing this too.
For sure.
Right, and Xein going ahead and finishing up all stars in CCM. So Phaser's the only one now that doesn't have any spaces on the board, but it looks like this card is a bit upstairs heavy. There's a lot of and a lot of JRB stuff too, but I don't. Red Coinstar and JRB wouldn't be too bad. Actually, yeah, that wouldn't be too bad at all. But
And you would have to do ship star in order to get access to those last 2 reds, but
all stars in JRB would be kind of ridiculous, though. I feel.
yeah, that's
too much.
in my opinion. It'd really only be worth it if there was another task on the board, such as reds and JRB. So it could be worth going for because you can't get 2
Ooh, and
tasks.
smart from Xein
Right.
there. He knew he didn't really need the wing cap star, just the cap itself. So he just ledge grabbed on the cap switch, and then you're able to exit course from that state.
And
So he was able to skip the text box like that.
He tried to get into basement before going through Dark World. So that's gonna cost him a few more seconds there, but this Phaser will be the 3rd to head into basement here. And at this point, probably just gonna be getting some stars to rush upstairs. Which I assume everyone will be at this point now.
Oh,
Badroenis.
Badroenis actually having his life be saved by that boulder. I'm pretty sure he would have ended up pitting otherwise. Not entirely sure, but he may have been able to like just get a butt slide into a jump or something.
Yeah, Phaser's heading over to Vanish Cap, looks like, maybe going for 3 cap stage stars.
He's having a lot of issues with HMC. Well, at least 3 stars from 8 stages is also a pretty lofty goal. So I'm not sure if he's going for that. I'm kind of wondering what Badroenis' plan is exactly with HMC.
Could just be to get stars, so we can get MIPS.
Could be.
We'll see if he goes for any more after getting this star here, but...
Now, Phaser taking a death there and Vanish Cap from stage. So I think he's going to be going for the 3 cap stage stars goal there, which Xein obviously isn't going for based on how.
Well, if he's doing cap stage stars, he's going to be needing to get those reds, though, so... Which he is... Just skip the first 4.
So he's going to be... Okay, instead it looks like now he's going to be going for the 6 stars in Wet Dry World, I think. Or maybe something in Snowman's Land that would require Vanish Cap.
Vanish Cap would be very helpful for 100 coin and SLs. You could be doing it for that, and again, like you said, 6 in Wet Dry World would be beneficial to have Vanish Cap as well.
Yeah, that's a lot faster than having to do reds in town. Or actually, no, that would allow him to do reds in town without having to do 100 coins. So he'd be able to skip 100 coin and just do everything individually.
100 coin is on the board though, so I wouldn't probably want to skip
that's
that
true.
one.
So, because I mean, yeah, the Vanish Cap star in town, is the Vanish Cap star in town faster than anything else? Like, is that faster than secrets? Or maybe he's
sure on that one.
planning on trying to get both the SL and Wet Dry World goals. So I mean, maybe he's considering that it's more useful because it's accomplishing more things. But
Right.
who knows?
So there are some possibilities here.
I'm going back into CCM for something I'm not exactly sure what.
I think he just needed a star, maybe for to get advantage, wing cap rather.
Maybe so, but he's
But back in there again
kind
after
of have
10
his
stars
eye on.
though.
Like he is specifically going back and doing the slide skip star.
So maybe going for star 1 from each stage, but that one with 30-minute time limit, that one's going to be kind of slow. Not sure if you're able to get through all those.
Yeah.
Speedrun is heading to Fire Sea now. Probably going to be the first one to make it upstairs here.
We've got let's see, what's that bottom goal? Oh,
SSL
yeah.
Reds.
Yeah. So Xein already went ahead and grabbed reds as well. We've also got Jalapinecone going ahead and getting all of the stage stars from the cap stages. So now we got 3 players tied at 2 goals apiece. Now, it looks like Phaser's in like a very precarious position, but he's kind of like playing more so the long game. Once he goes ahead and achieves his Wet Dry World and Snowman's Land goals, he'll like accumulate some goals pretty quickly, so long as no one else tries to get to them first. Is Xein going to be doing 5 stars in BBH? Kind of looked... Oh, he is. Yeah. This is something you would... Yep, he's doing reds, so he's definitely going for the 5 stars, I think. Or maybe just red coin star itself, but... I mean, Balcony star is okay fast, and then, of course, the secret of the bookcase is very fast.
Yeah, there's 5 BBH, red coins BBH, and all BBH on this board rather. I don't know if he got Vanish Cap, but I mean, if he was gonna go for all BBH, he probably wouldn't be doing reds right now. Would be pairing that with 100 coin most likely.
Well, what is it? Go on a ghost hunt pairs pretty well with 100 coin. So that might be his plan there.
Maybe, yeah. We'll see what he does there, but I mean, there is an opportunity to get 3 tasks done relatively quickly. But opportunity he might not be taking now, as he has marked reds and BBH, and again,
he might
like
just be
said,
kind of wanting to do reds first, just to make sure that he doesn't have to worry about anyone else trying to grab
That's
it.
true. Yeah. So yeah, again, could be pairing that with pairing 100 coin with merry-go-round star. As Jalapinecone will be going for DDD reds, or hundreds rather here.
Yeah, DDD 100 is a pretty challenging star, so. But it looks like he's the only one going for DDD specifically. Now, Phaser and BBH. Phaser might be trying to... Okay, so Xein's already left BBH. He's only going to be going for red coin star there. And so I think we might see Phaser go ahead and try for 5 stars in BBH instead. He probably sees that red coin goal has already been achieved, and so he's just like, okay, I'll go ahead and just still do the 5 stars though.
Yeah.
And he's got Vanish Cap, so he could do all stars in BBH as well. And I mean, Eye in the Secret Room is very fast either way, so I'm certain that's going to be one of his 5. That is a kind of wild slide kick there to kill that boom.
As Badroenis getting underway here with his Jar 100, and then we'll see if he sticks around here for...
Yeah, and Phaser narrowly avoided getting factoried there, my god.
Badroenis looks like he's doing 100 plus secrets, so if he is going to go for 6 Mojaro, I'd imagine he's opting out of the red coin star.
Yeah, that would be my guess too.
And we'll see Xein here. Maybe he's farming lives here in Vanish Cap, trying to get to 25.
More than like, because I mean that is a pretty quick goal to achieve. He's already got 3 spaces, so you know extending his lead by 1 more is pretty nice.
Yeah, and with that lead he does have some time to maybe go for some slower tasks. Just got the faster tasks out of the way, and just maybe want to make sure can get some extra ones that maybe others don't have their mindset on. As Badroenis has.
I mean, he's the only one that's farming for lives, and he doesn't even have to necessarily get all 25 here. He could go ahead and just, you know, get 22 or something, and if he's got plans for some other stars that involve 1-ups, just go ahead and grab those on the way. But of course, we are approaching the last 10 minutes of this round, so. And Badroenis going ahead and getting 100 coin star in Wet Dry World. So up to 4 goals. I'm just going to be right behind him.
And he is heading back into Wet Road here, so yeah. I need to do high water level as well, so he's going to be going for... I don't remember if he got Vanish Cap, but he's probably going to be doing top of the town, or downtown rather, I'm guessing, if he didn't do 100 plus reds.
Yeah. Now, what's kind of interesting to think about is Xein is almost definitely not doing Vanish Cap because he's had to deal with the text crawl from Vanish Cap every time that he's been farming for lives here. So, like, if he were going to be going for Vanish Cap, it would have made sense for him to do that first before doing all this farming.
Yeah.
And so he's got the 25 lives now. He's going to be tied yet again with Badroenis.
He is going to go and get the cap here. He's not getting the star.
So, yeah, and Badroenis is going to go ahead and go for Reds. I think he didn't get Vanish Cap, so Reds is his only option if he wants to get 6 stars in Wet Dry.
Okay. Yeah, it is slower than racing downtown, but it is, of course, not a terrible option. And in this case, his only option, since if he doesn't have Vanish Cap here.
I halfway wonder if Phaser's trying to go for all in BBH because he's doing 100 coin right now.
Yeah, that's the only reason. That's the only reason he'd probably be doing 100 coins right now. That is
it's kind of a shame because he's doing, you know, you're doing 100 coins alongside Reds, and of course, you know, Xein already has the Reds space locked out, so he's not able to get 2 goals for the price of 1 there, but.
Can still get 5 and all in BBH here, though. So still can.
Hala having issues with this dive. Man, this dive sucks.
Yeah, it is a tricky one for sure.
Especially to miss because it takes so long to set back up again.
Yeah, it's like probably 20 seconds each miss.
Yeah.
Right around.
There we go.
There it is.
Right, and Badroenis just cleaning up wet dry world at this point. Xein came back to BBH, which seems weird.
Looks like he's going for 5 BBH as well, which I'm pretty sure Phaser does have a slight edge on him in that regard.
Yeah, I would think that if Xein changed his mind and for some reason wants to go now for all in BBH, that like he's gonna have his work cut out for him. Phaser's been in the stage for a couple of minutes.
And he's already marked off 5, finishing up 100 plus reds here. Yeah. So Xein did go back for Vanish Cap, which I'm assuming was his plan initially. He just didn't have Vanish Cap, so was maybe going to go for all in BBH. Again, like you said earlier, just wanted to make sure he did get red coins done as quickly as possible. But he did see it was marked, and then is now bailing on that endeavor.
So which stage is he going to? Is he going to try to finish this out? Ooh!
All in JRB, okay.
See, I think what he's probably really planning is just for red coin in JRB. Because he knows that goal is going to be very fast, and I wonder if he's kind of hoping that Badroenis just won't be able to accomplish another goal. Or, I mean, well,
I think Badroenis is...
I think All-Stars would take too long. I think all of them would be...
probably around 6 to 7 minutes. So that would probably be...
He doesn't quite have the time for all JRB. Yeah, it's literally over the community best, yeah.
As Badroenis heading into TP now, probably going to be going for 3 TTC and Rainbow Ride, and maybe bits reds as well. As
Having a ton of issues with the BLJ here, though. There we go, finally able to clip through.
And going right for Rainbow Ride first. So there is 6 in RR on here, so maybe not going for the 3 in each. For 6 in RR, I'd imagine he's going to be doing... If he is going for 6, he's probably going to skip the carpet star, maybe doing 100 plus a cannon star. Oh, and takes a quick long jump after getting those first few coins. Long jump off the edge there.
Hala coming upstairs now. It's kind of interesting, like with this format, you really don't get a ton of time upstairs.
Yeah, unless like you really don't go for any tasks at all in lobby and basement. You're just doing like basically just a quick 16 run and then just doing extra stuff when you get upstairs, pretty much.
Right. And now, this is kind of an interesting choice from Badroenis. It looks like he's going for 100 coin here. I'm sure he's going to be pairing it with what is like the cannon star. Yeah. But kind of an interesting choice for one of his 3 stars. Because I mean, doing reds on its own, tricky on its own. Like, what is the goal he's
He's probably doing 6 in RR.
Oh
here.
yeah, 6 in RR. Okay.
And he might have time for 3 TTC, but it's gonna be kind of close.
Yeah, it would be very, very iffy.
Yeah, like Packer's saying in chat now, looks like to me that Badroenis is really costing himself an extra task here, because he could have just done 3 TTC Rainbow Ride and then gone for bits reds, which is 2.
It also halfway looks like why is Xein doing 100 coin? Because it halfway looks like he is trying to go for all in JRB.
Yeah, I doubt he's gonna have enough time to do it.
Right, unless like but I mean, yeah, he doesn't have time to open 7 cannons at all. He will have time in the end. Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah. I didn't see that in chat earlier.
Oof, Xein missing the button there initially, but is able to save himself with a quick wall kick. As Jalapinecone looks like he is going to be doing SL 100, which will probably be his last task completed of the round, unless... No, that'll be his last one for sure. Unless maybe he can rush the Tippy and do hits reds.
I don't think any of these players have opened anywhere near enough cannons just yet.
Yeah, I doubt it. As you all know, that is reserved for me. I'm the only one who's allowed to open cannons in this tournament. Yeah, Xein, I believe, yeah, he's gotten 3 stars. These stars aren't too long, so with a little over 3 minutes left to go in this round, he should have enough time to just barely get all of these last stars done.
Yeah.
Really taking his time in the cannon shot here. Almost rolling out off the egg, but he was able to get the star first try.
Yeah, but Badroenis is confirming that he's going to be going for 6 and R. Or I guess maybe he changed his mind now. Because I'm not sure that death probably wasn't. Okay, no, he's still going for it. That was just an unfortunate triple jump fail. Yeah, and Hollow just cruising along in Snowman's Land here, getting real close to the end of the round, about 2.5 minutes left.
And I'm not sure how Pinecone got enough coins from that money bag. Oh, he's gonna be 3 short, so probably gonna have to kill Spindrift and then Snowman that's right next to the red star here. Is able to get completed, and then again, if he can maybe get like really good BLJs and rush to bits reds, but I doubt he's gonna have enough time to get that one done. So that's probably gonna be it here for Jalapinecone in this first round.
Yeah. I'm not sure what exactly. I'm sure Fazer's not planning on doing all of JRB, so I'm not really sure what his play right here is. We got Xein
maybe
closing on the end of that goal.
Not too sure. It looks like he might be doing 100 plus cave, but not really seeing the point in doing that. That's Jalapinecone heading into what draw road here. And maybe he's going for cannons here. He's even cutting it close. I'm not sure how many is open already.
He noticed Xein got red coin and is just chilling out. So he's going to go ahead and exit course and then go for the Womps cannon now.
He's going to have to do... I'm not sure if he already got the King Womp and Tower Star, but he's going to have to do those.
Oh, he's already got them, so yeah, he's just going to have to run right over and he's got it.
Yeah, Waking the Owl, unfortunately, people are probably going to be very upset over this, probably going to call PETA. Yeah, with just under 30 seconds here, I don't think there's enough time for Jalapinecone to get this done.
Yeah, he's going to go ahead and just leave the goal there. So
yeah.
With that, we've got Badroenis and Xein tied at 6 points for this first round. Jalapinecone at 4 points, and then Fazerlazer with 2 points. And so let me go ahead and pull up the scoring system to make sure that because these points are not the raw score that these players have.
So Badroenis and Xein, since they both tied, I'm pretty sure they both get the first place bonus. So they're both ending with 9 here, including the bonus. And then Jalapinecone will be getting 1 point bonus for third. And then Phaser won't be having bonus here. And yes, Drunken Dwarf confirming the Discord. That is the scores. Badroenis and Xein tied with 9, Jalapinecone with 5, and Phaser with 2 after the first round of action here.
Yeah, and Xein saying it was shambles for him. I didn't even go upstairs, bro. It's super fair. But I mean, Badroenis ended up getting the most stars out of any player here, but Xein spent more time. Like, I mean, if you look at the board here, he got all stars in 2 different stages. I think overall, Phaser kind of got impacted the most, I think, by like the lockout sort of rules. He missed out on Red Coin Star and BBH because of lockout, and then missed out on Red Coin and JRB due to lockout as well. So I'm not exactly sure what these players kind of would be thinking about now in terms of how they might want to adjust their kind of decision making going forward. Because it does look like overall Badroenis and Xein's decisions kind of worked out for them pretty well. Although, of course, as Packer was pointing out in chat, you know, Badroenis definitely should have ended up going for 3 stars from TTC and RR in the end. But
yeah, again, that probably would have left him some time for bits reds as well if he did go for that task.
yeah. But I can also understand that, like, with the amount of trouble he had with the 50-star BLJ, I mean, the endless one is a bit easier since you have infinite attempts on it without having to reset it. But you know, he might have just not felt like having to deal with that endless BLJ, or you know, maybe he just wasn't really feeling reds today. Maybe it just wasn't going super well. Who knows? But I mean, you know, either Xein or Badroenis, I'm sure. Yeah, and it's Badroenis literally saying in the back room, BLJs though.
Yeah. Yeah, I was having quite a bit of trouble there. It's Xein. What is Xein doing here? Just getting, I guess, frame perfect jumps off this fence here. Something I haven't seen.
Slowly moving backwards. Looks like he's slowly moving backwards. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of hard to tell.
Maybe it's just the way the camera's jerking, but
It might be. That would make sense.
how? Okay, there's no way that this jump is like frame perfect. How is he getting it this many times?
Yeah, that's... I think he's just starting off like a booty slide on the fence there, and so just jumping immediately out of it, I'm guessing. I'm not too sure what's going on there. But
Very thin fence. Yeah, this is like the hurricane fence of hurricane fences.
Yeah. Yeah, we should be starting round 2 here momentarily.
So, I mean, Phaser does have a decent disadvantage, but, you know, of course, if Phaser is able to get first in another one of these rounds, that bonus will definitely help him out a lot. And so now we've got our new card here. Beat the King in BOB. That'll be an interesting goal to see right off the bat that I'm sure someone's going to be going for. This one's got more BOB stuff on it. 100 coin star in BOB, All-Stars in CCM and JRB making a reappearance. All-Stars in TTC. That'll be an interesting goal to see if someone goes for, because that would be fast. Once you have tipping access, that's 5 minutes. You're definitely going to be done unless you have a ton of spaghetti. Let's see, two cap stage stars instead of 3. So we'll almost certainly be seeing that one.
130 and 140 coins here. So we're probably going to see, I'm guessing we'll be seeing some people going for King Bob-omb, and then, well, if you're going for King Bob-omb, you're not going to be able to get 130 and 140 in once.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so that'll be an interesting decision for each of these players to have to make individually. We might end up seeing, they might all psych themselves out and all go for BOB, for instance.
Yeah.
But I do feel like that's kind of unlikely. But this will kind of immediately be a race for these initial goals, and right off the bat, Badroenis missing Lakitu skip. Every other player managing to get it just fine. But at least no moats this time around, that sucked to see from Fazerlazer.
Yeah, a nice sync here from Phaser and Jalapinecone, and Xein is right behind him. Well, yeah, again, interesting to see if they're going for King Bob-omb here. Their camera's indicating that there won't be, except for, not even Xein will, so no one initially at least going for King Bob-omb to start out round 2 here.
Yeah, they might just want to save it for later. They might be thinking that, I don't know, maybe they're planning on doing a BOB revisit, but I mean, well, yeah, the 100 coin star in BOB does require the win cap, so it would be most ideal overall to get King Bob-omb on a revisit alongside other stars like that. Yeah, and Xein and Jalapinecone both going to be leaving. They might all think the others went for it. Yeah, that's halfway what I'm thinking too.
Yeah, Jalapinecone now going to be going for Secret Slide, and we go for 7 Castle Secret Stars.
And I think he's kind of resigned to, 140 and 130 coins being taken by somebody else. But yeah, everyone's just going to be leaving BOB. It's almost like a gentleman's agreement. We will fight over Bomb King later. And yeah, Xein, definitely going to be shooting for 140 coins as fast as he can. And like you were saying earlier, there's 141 total in the stage, so you have to be very, very thorough with cleaning up the stage. And so Phaser's going to be going for it as well. We'll see who ends up hitting it first. Xein does have a pretty steep advantage.
It does get all the coins from the box there. Can be kind of tricky to get all that, but especially if one of them does fly off the edge. If that does happen, you cannot miss any more coins to be able to get the 150 objective.
Yeah, and Badroenis just gonna, after that mistake, he's just gonna go ahead and give up on any sort of coin stars and
And he'll be heading back.
He's gonna be the first
now.
to go ahead and go for Womp or Bomb King. He knows no one else must be going for it since the stage it would be filled now if anyone went for it first. So he knows by deduction everyone went for something else. Right, and Jalapinecone just kind of cleaning up the other stars and womps. And Phaser actually pretty close in coin count and in cycle to Xein, so it's actually going to be very, very close, depending on like who exactly is going to end up getting the star. I'm not sure if they've all collected all the same coins, but their coin count is very, very similar.
Badroenis, the first one to get a task here, finishing up BOB, or finishing up the Bomb King in BOB, is Xein did spawn the 100 coin star, but just left it there. Probably just wanted to make sure, ensure he could get the 130, 140, in case anyone wants to go for it.
And then had to wait for the swamp here that Phaser was able to go ahead and grab that coin right off the bat. And so Xein was able to go ahead and hit the 130 and 140 goals first. It's unfortunate for Phaser.
Yeah, it always sucks to see someone put that much time into it and have it, again, not paying off for him. Xein was dangerously close there to rolling out into that red coin star, but I do believe it's just high enough to not roll out into it. He's going back for the 100 coin star now, so yeah,
Phaser must not be... Oh, okay, I forgot that you didn't grab it.
Yeah, he just wanted to make sure, I guess, that he could have gotten the 130, 140 as quickly as possible. Because again, you do want stars to get to MIP, so just leaving that and not just ignoring it completely wouldn't be the best idea.
Alright, so Xein gonna go ahead and leave Womp's Fortress. Nothing really to do in this stage aside from those goals. I think Hal is just, continuing the stage just for a 16 star kind of, you go ahead and fill up your star docket, if you will. Get ready to be able to head downstairs pretty quickly.
Yeah,
so now we do have CCM as an option again. We'll see if Xein ends up going for that option or just deciding to... It wouldn't be a bad choice, considering that you'd be able to go to Dark World immediately after.
Yeah, he went for it so early. Like, there's really nothing else he could have done except for all in JRB, really, which is significantly slower than CCM.
Yeah. Kind of interesting, though, how Red Coin and All-Stars in JRB both made a reappearance here. It'll be interesting, too, to see how people may try to synergize Eye in the Secret Room with 2 cap stage stars. Because, I mean, there's no reason you would go for Metal Cap as your cap stage star. That'd just be kind of pointless.
Yeah, Metal Cap. Of course, it's the one thing that's, of course, the most useless piece of garbage in the game, but it has the best music in the game, which is very unfortunate.
Yeah, that pretty wild, like, industrial remix. Alright, let's see what... Okay, Joey going back over to Womp. Or, oh my god, Xein going back over to Womps. I saw your name beside the screen and yeah.
Yeah, I am actually playing for Xein right now. I am going to take home $175, even though I was eliminated last week. Yeah, not sure what Xein is
going to be headed into Dark World and get that basement access.
Here we go!
The drone's just, kind of filling up with Womps. Kind of interesting that Xein went ahead and left CCM so quickly. Maybe, like, reconsidering on going through all of CCM. I mean, you don't need a cap for anything in CCM, so he could have done it all in one fell swoop, but maybe he just wasn't satisfied with the amount of time that it took last time and wants to kind of get some faster goals out of the way.
Perhaps, yeah.
Also, yeah, we're definitely not going to be seeing cannons since Open 11. Oh, Hallow's taking a real rough death in Dark World. I think that kind of mirrors last time as well. They took some pretty rough deaths on Dark World Reds. Right, and so kind of looking through the goals here. Into the Igloo SL would not take too long. That would
We'll
be
need Vanish Cap for that one, but yeah, again,
Right.
once you have that, especially if you're going for cap stage stars, that's really not a bad option at all.
right. 7 Castle Secret Stars. That's probably why we're seeing so many slides.
Yeah.
And of course that synergizes really well with cap stage stars because they've.
Oh, it's Jalapinecone!
Howell was trying to be safe there, and that just wow. That was a devastating. He just got dumped by those elevator platforms. Yeah, that crouch just completely ruined him.
Yeah.
Xein missing the kick there. I'm not exactly sure what happened. Maybe he knew that if he did like the speed kick or something, he wasn't gonna have the room to double jump, so he was trying to back that up, but just kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Dark World is taking names right now. Yeah. Xein not even messing with reds, just wants to get the hell out. Xein like, can I get the hell out of Dark World? I would very much like to leave Dark World, please.
Yeah, so now we're getting close to basement here. Looking back in the board here, I don't really see too many tasks. Except for 4 SSL and HMC. That's really the only viable task I'm seeing here from the basement. Really the only task at all from basement, except aside from maybe Castle Secrets.
Well, there's 100 points for an HMC, but that would be a lengthy one.
Yeah, that would. You could do that. Try to synergize that with SSL and 4 and SSL and HMC, but again, there are so many.
That would synergize
stars.
pretty well, considering how fast the other stars in HMC also are.
Yeah.
You could just do a Rolling Rock and Amazing Emergency Exit alongside with it, and you'd have both of those done with it.
And then for 4 SSL stars, I'm thinking obviously Klepto and Pyramid. And then
if you want a wild out double plus too.
Maybe, yeah, I could also go for Secrets, and then that 4th one.
Yeah, just Shiny Top, Talon, and double plus.
Yeah. I can do math. Yeah, that would work perfectly. I was thinking maybe you would want to do grab Ring Cap to do reds, but yeah, those stars are a lot faster than reds and IROC would be.
And Xein's confident enough in double plus. That's exactly what he's about to do.
Yeah, guy has a 48 something.
Wait,
70
why
star.
is he not doing plus? That's you would want Talon as your first backup for plus fails. So
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure why he wouldn't be starting out with plus. He might have something different in mind, but I'm not exactly sure what. Because, I mean, double plus would be stupid fast.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is just trying to get stars from MIPS and just rush upstairs. But again, 4 SSL and HMC is not a very long objective.
And I guess maybe he just wanted Lose Mario's hat to be out of the way as fast as possible.
Maybe, yeah, that would make sense.
So we're going to go ahead and see him lose the hat here. And so now he's going to go for something. Okay, so I'm assuming now is where he's Shiny Top. Yep, okay. That's actually a pretty decent play, because, I mean, at the end of the day, the time isn't really what matters. So if he has to do, like, bomb respawn plus backups, that's not that bad, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, he is going back to SSL, yeah, so he's going to be going, I would assume, double plus now. There's a big bomb going for Tama.
And of course he goes for Tama. Why? God.
Little slow on the
You would
ending
not
there,
be
but-
catching me doing Tama doing this strat, though. I would be doing, like, the baby is Dino plus. I would be doing a triple jump over the sandstone.
Yeah. Yeah, was a little slow on the last ground pound, but he is able to get in there relatively quickly.
And hatless Tama, jeez. Because I wonder if the lack of the hat being there would kind of mess with you just a little bit. Just because it's a slight difference. And I'm sure that some people, like, kind of use the bomb passing by Mario's head as a bit of a visual cue.
Right.
Right. That's kind of what we were mentioning earlier with some of the Synergy Packer. So Howell kind of setting himself up nicely.
Xein going for Tama again here.
Yeah,
I wanna get
this
a
is the
little
fourth
bit quicker than
SSL
last
star.
time.
Very, very good. Jeez. I certainly understand his decision making with why he went that route through the stage, and it just like, God though. He's so fast. I mean, if you can do a double Tama that consistently, like, you may as well do it, I guess. Can't really argue with that. And so, yeah, we're going to go ahead and see HMC 100 now. If you're
Pinecone-
confident in this star, I think it's worth doing. But it's also one that if you're not confident in it, you're gonna lose so much time to it.
And Jalapinecone having a little run here.
Try to go the BBH 1 star short of what you need to get in there.
Oh, that's an easy one to forget about.
Yeah, it's not very well known about at all. Xein barely misses the timing on the elevator. It takes a quick ledge grab on the sign.
And that's kind of what I mean is like now you got to go ahead and back up with some like weird movement. That wasn't the worst mistake he could have made there.
For sure. Like, the scariest part is probably going to be this long jump here if he goes for it.
We got
And
Phaser
he
going
won't
ahead for
be.
JRB. That's a pretty decent decision. Both Phaser and Badroenis, I'm sure, you know, we're hoping that 2 cap stage stars wouldn't be claimed just yet, but... I wonder if Hala is kind of approaching the basement routing from the inverse side since he's in HMC and there's nothing else really down here besides 100 coin.
Yeah, maybe trying to... I don't think he got 4 from SSL, so yeah, he doesn't have enough stars to be able to have that. So yeah, probably just getting stars from Mibs now is Jalapinecone here.
And having to wait forever for this elevator clip here. That always feels terrible. It's like a 10-second just wait. And Xein having a pretty alright 100 coin. I think this is the BLJ look, or no, he's about to start BLJ. It's kind of wild that this 100 coin just has a BLJ as part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. He barely got enough speed to be able to build up more speed there. That was certainly a kind of iffy one. It's a very easy BLJ. Yeah.
I would disagree, Collins. I'm sorry. I'm just bad at the game.
It's certainly easier than the Toxic Maze one.
Oh, definitely. That's probably gonna
I
be
feel
one
like
of the hardest in the game.
I feel like part of the difficulty just comes from like figuring out when you need to triple jump. So I think that's part of it. Like if you triple jump too early, you'll end up like long jumping and then like the elevator won't be high enough and you can just fall right back out.
Yeah, Collins, I actually have 217. What you're saying is incorrect. Remember right, you actually verified that run if I remember right, so wow. I'm kind of sad moderators don't remember every run they verify. That's a little embarrassing, if I'm being honest.
So I'm gonna go ahead and finish up 100 coin here. Doesn't get the good blue RNG, unfortunately. Where did the... Oh, did he even spawn the blue coin? He didn't even spawn it. Oh, okay. I wonder what the percentage chance of the good RNG there is, because... Like, I know not all of the spawn momentums are equally weighted. So I don't know, like... I would think on its head that it's like a... somewhere around like a 50-50 or like a 30% chance.
Getting it to fall anywhere at all, I'm pretty sure is a little under 50%, but getting it to fall towards Red Coin Star is more like 2 to 5%, I remember right. It's pretty low to get the actual good RNG, yeah.
I didn't realize it was that rare, wow. I would have assumed that it would be something around like 15 to 20. 2%, Jesus Christ, oh my god. Yeah, wow, I always thought it was 10 times as high. Jeez. That makes that even more brutal. Yeah, I've always known that like people separate out their HMC 100 split because of that reason, like they you know, that volatility of the star coming down to RNG, but like I didn't realize it was that low of a chance.
Fazerlazer going for BB 100 coin here, but he didn't get Bomb King or Koopa, so he's gonna have to do this without the shell. So navigating this area will be a little bit harder, and he loses out on 5 coins as well. We'll see what to take from the Chinchan pull. Smart decision there.
Oh, and what happened to Xein that made him... Oh, I think he must have went ahead and... Wait. Yeah, why did he leave HMC? That's weird.
I don't know what he's doing here.
I mean, back in HMC... I looked away from his screen for just a moment. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what he was, because... Yeah, anyway. And you got Hala trying to go upstairs alongside Badroenis pretty much as soon as possible. And Phaser just trying to pick up some extra goals throughout lobby. And Xein's got a wing cap now, so I wonder what exactly he's planning on doing with it. Okay, so Xein is going to go ahead and go for All-Stars and CCM. Kind of an interesting move, because I mean, he doesn't really have a way of knowing necessarily that no one else went for it, but I mean, I guess maybe he's just assuming that since no one's done it by now.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just hoping beyond hope that... Because that's one of those kind of risky goals that, like, you know, if you think someone else might be going for it, you kind of want to stay away. Because it could be a pretty significant investment for a very little return. And so we've got Badroenis moving over into Snowman's Land first. This kind of makes the most sense, considering that into the Igloo, 100 coin star, this will be very fast. Wonder how weird of a reroute you would have to make in order to combine the two. Because I know that normally you go in the Igloo around halfway through 100 coin. Oh yeah, I forgot that 35 total stars is a goal.
That's a pretty, given a time limit, that's a pretty tricky one to get in the 30-minute time limit. Given that we're at 20 minutes through the round here, and no one has reached 20 stars yet, it's probably not going to be not going to be gotten at this point. Not too sure what Xein is doing here.
Yeah, just sticking around with all coins and CCM for sure. It has a lot of extra. I guess he's going to be doing the slide skip here.
Yeah, that's something I can think of. I think he entered with 32, which I'm pretty sure puts him at enough for the slide skip.
Xein is really popping off this round.
He did just miss a coin for that jump, though. He just missed a bunch of other coins.
Yeah, so he's just going to go ahead and like go back over to the standard slide route. No harm, no foul. And
the nice thing about slide skip is that if you do miss a ton of coins, you do, since you got so many extra from outside, you do have that extra. And then again, if you don't miss any of those coins, then you again can save that second or two from doing a side skip. Strat as he falls before he gets the 100 coin star.
Dude, that sucks. That is a huge time loss. I mean, he can take that time loss. He's got a decent lead, but still, that sucks.
That's really unfortunate.
And Jalapinecone sees that 100 coin SL just got taken, so he's going to go ahead and abort that one. As Badroenis... It's kind of interesting, though, because of how exactly they went about it. Badroenis ended up getting the 100 coin star, while Jalapinecone ended up getting into the Igloo. Badroenis probably hoping to get both of them together, but...
Pinecone and Badroenis both heading the tippy here, and then I'm guessing Jalapinecone will be going for bits reds as Badroenis giving up on that BLJ attempt. And then probably going to be seeing either an all-in TGC or 3 TGC from RR, and maybe both. I mean, there are some fast stars in both stages. Of course, all-in TGC will take you around 5 minutes, and that should leave you enough time to get the 3 fastest stars from Rainbow Ride. If you can get its BLJ soon, that is.
Has a lot of issues with this one alongside the other one. Has Badroenis ever run 16 star? I'm not sure if he has with any... I'm not sure if he's ever grinded for like a 16 or a 15 or anything like that.
Pinecone gets
BLJ can just be rough sometimes. He hasn't? Okay, that kind of makes sense. Not for years, yeah.
Yeah, I'm starting off with Rainbow Ride. And again, the only thing I'm seeing here is 3 in TTC and Rainbow Ride, so... It takes a death on the triple jump wall kick. Okay, so I'm guessing this is just so we can mark off 3 in TTC and RR sooner. If he does RR first, and then once he gets the 3... If he does all in TTC, then he gets the 3 from TTC and can mark it off soon and then get the 4 remaining from TTC.
Yeah. I do kind of feel like Badroenis is making like the smarter play going for the tippy stars rather than for the reds first, like Hollow is doing here. Considering that like there's multiple like big goals that are going to be achieved in Tippy itself, whereas like you're only getting the one goal in bits.
Yeah. Fazerlazer finishes up his DDD 100 here. Probably going for 6 in DDD. I don't know.
Ooh. How about almost taking a death there in bits? Yeah, you could see him like, just gasping for air for a moment, just like,
Yeah.
oh man.
Yeah, Phaser is doing 6 in DD. I don't know why he would do like the 100 coin as one of them. That is a pretty slow one.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe he thought that the 100 coin objective was somewhere on here, but it's not. So, I'm not sure. I mean, yeah, I guess maybe he just doesn't know reds otherwise. Well, but I mean, like, just I don't know.
It's the same movement though. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah, you'd be able
not
to
getting the blues afterwards.
Right, not having to get all the coins at the start. You just swim right over there. So yeah, I'm not really.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what his plan is there. Xein finishes up all on CCM, which will extend his lead.
Up by that box.
I believe Badroenis just got his 3rd from Rainbow Ride. So he'll have a little over 5 minutes, about 5.5 minutes here to complete TTC. And for a runner of his caliber, that shouldn't be too much of a problem for him.
Yeah.
Let's get the safety red for the 100 coin. So you see Xein now probably going to be finishing up all in SSL now, I'm guessing.
Oh, that is a decent point, is that Phaser does have Vanish Cap, doesn't he? So he will be able to collect the caps, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, that is a kind of good question, whether 100 plus reds would be faster than reds would just collect the caps, because...
Jalapinecone with some spaghetti in TTC here.
Now he's
quick
at 0
fall and
lives.
death right after. Ooh, that's a good point. Gonna be pretty scary here for this last 4.5 minutes of round 2. I'm basically at this point just hoping that he's saved.
Yeah. Is it part of the rules that you have to save in bingo? Because I mean, I would think.
I don't think so. But I mean, he wouldn't be able to get back to TTC and maybe finish his task. But I mean, he probably wouldn't. Badroenis is way ahead of him though in that regard. So I'm not too sure he'd be able to get it anyway. But like in the event, Badroenis also had a pretty major mishap, and even if he would have had time in a normal circumstance, I mean, he would have had to get 15 stars and then do MIPS and BLJs again. There's no way he can do that in 3 minutes.
Yeah. And so now, how I'm sure sees that the Badroenis just got 3 in TTC and Rainbow Ride, so kind of contemplating for a moment if he wanted to continue with TTC. And then we also need, let's see. Yeah, no one's going to be doing 3 stars each from THI and TTM. And so, I mean, yeah, it looks like most of the goals are pretty well accomplished. We just have to see if Xein's able to go ahead and get all stars in SSL. And then, of course, Phaser just now getting 6 stars in DDD. So Phaser having some better luck than last round.
Xein already got the 4 from earlier, so he just had reds, which he already did, and then he's going to have to do 100 plus IROC here, I'm pretty sure, because he already did secrets.
So like I can't believe that I missed that like All Stars and SSL earlier, because I mean that kind of the SSL HMC combo is pretty nice, and it's really good that Xein was able to take as much advantage of that as possible.
For sure.
And so Phaser gonna go ahead and just finish up Fire. See, I don't know why he's wanting to go ahead and just get upstage. I mean, to be honest, if I were Phaser, I'd probably just like overall just stop playing for the moment.
Yeah, there's really nothing else he could make a run at right now.
Right. Badroenis just trying to clean up TTC while Jalapinecone kind of racing him out there. Hala missing that triple jump, that's going to cost him some significant time too.
And Xein with that actually 5-head side flip dive into the elevator there. I actually had no idea that was possible, but not having to do the triple jump wall kick, which is going to save him some time there. And I argue I haven't messed with it, but it looks like it was, to me, it was good bit easier than the triple jump wall kick.
Yeah.
As Jalapinecone takes another death, and he's given up.
Yeah, I'm just
On
going
this
to go
round.
for this round. Unfortunate
It's
end of the
looking-
round, but
Looking at me like he's just going to be a waste between Fazerlazer and Jalapinecone for the third place prize of $25. Phaser having some fun with Fire Seek here with his wall kicks up the poles. And he's reached the top of, he's as high as he can go with those wall kicks. Very nice there from Phaser.
those wall kicks are fun to mess with.
Uh-oh, I think we're gonna be seeing some bunny abuse here from Xein. Just leaving it in front of LOL just to have a look at that beautiful painting, picking him up again. Not sure where he's gonna take him. I'll be trying to cypher dive him into LOL, there it is. Xein
Alright.
gonna get PETA called on him most likely again here with taking the rabbit into a place where they probably can't live. It's, I'd imagine, very, very hot in LOL.
Yeah. And so, finishing up this round, we've got Xein and Badroenis in first place, Xein in first place with 7 bingo spaces here. I don't know why I couldn't come up with a word for a moment. Followed by Badroenis with 6, and then we've got Hala and Phaser tied for 3 this round. So pretty standout showing from Badroenis and Xein. You've got Phaser and Hala kind of talking in the back room. Hala saying, he got sniped by Badroenis for a lot of the game. A lot of snipes going on.
Yeah, so the scores
we
including
got
bonus.
Yeah. Do you want to go ahead and go with the scores?
Yeah, so scores including bonus, that'll put Phaser in last place with 6, Jalapinecone not too far ahead of him with 9. Then Badroenis with 17, Xein in the lead with 19.
So moving on into round 3, Phaser and Hala certainly have their work cut out for them, but Badroenis and Xein are very, very close for first place in this finals. It's all going to come down to this last card, this last round. And I mean, Badroenis is, so if I understand this bonus system right, Badroenis will need to make sure that even if he comes out ahead of Xein, he wants to get at least 1 extra square in addition. So I think he'll need to be ahead by 2 to get like a true win without any sort of tie.
Yeah, I believe that is correct.
I think that's how math works. I'm not exactly
Might need to check
sure.
with Dwarf on that one, but that does sound right to me.
I'm not sure exactly how tiebreakers are handled, but I'm sure it's already been kind of identified. But yeah, this should be a very, very interesting third set. And so yeah, Xein currently has advantage for 1 extra first place. Yeah, so Dwarf kind of clarifying in the back room like exactly how tiebreaker stuff would go. Since game 1 is like the tying first place game 1, it would be if there would need to be a tiebreaker with Badroenis winning, I think the tiebreaker would be whoever reached their number of goals first.
That's correct, yeah.
In that tie round. So I believe they finished that tie round with both of them had either 5 or 6. So it's like whoever reached 5 first. Yeah, or whoever you say, yeah. We've got a system for it. And Badroenis did reach 6. Okay, so actually Badroenis just needs to tie to win. So Badroenis winning wins the whole thing. Xein winning wins the whole thing at this point.
Yeah, so this is basically a race for the difference between first and second for the prize pool is $125 first getting 175, and then second place will be getting only 50. Yeah, this is going to be a very big 30 minutes here for both Badroenis and Xein, and then of course Fazerlazer and Jalapinecone racing for third place to take home a $25 prize for third place.
So this should be a pretty exciting third round. We'll see what these players get faced with whenever they get their cards out. Because, I mean, a lot of what's defined these last two matches have been the snipes, and I'm sure this third match will be no different. And we could see Phaser and Hala start to throw a wrench into Badroenis and Xein's plans by, you know,
That's true.
If Xein doesn't get sniped on stuff, but Phaser snipes Badroenis on something, let's say, you know, that could make the difference as well.
Yeah, so even though Phaser and Jalapinecone are in the running for the big money, they could still play a huge role in this final round of the tournament here. So we've got the final round of the tournament underway here. And right off the bat, I'm looking at 5 cannons to be done probably later on. There's 140 coins in 2 stages. As Jalapinecone resetting again, I guess he didn't delete his file. That's going to cost him around 30 seconds here.
Oh, that's rough.
So there's 120 coins in 1 stage, and then 140 coins in 2 stages. So probably someone will end up going for, I would say 140 in Womps, and then I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, the best next option for the 140 is Wet Dry World.
I think so. I'm not exactly sure on coin counts in each stage.
Yeah, there are stages that have,
there are a bunch in CCM as well.
Yeah, and there's 154 or so, I think, maybe 156 in CCM, but it's so spread out though. It's gonna take. I mean, it's such a big stage, and the coins are spread out quite a bit, so it's gonna be hard to get them quickly.
This card, it's kind of obvious. The initial decision is gonna be almost everyone I think is gonna be going for Womp's 100 coin.
Yeah. And then after that, it's probably just going to be Rush Basement and Upstairs. There's not much you can do here in Lobby on this card.
Yeah, I guess you could do All-Stars and VOB, but that would take so long.
Yeah, and again, you still need to get 10 stars of win cap for that.
9 cannons isn't going to be an option. We're going to see someone farm for lives for 20 lives, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Xein having a...
And 30 lives as well, too. Yeah, I could maybe see 5 cannons getting... picked up later on, and then if someone only goes for cannons, then maybe we'll get 9, but that wouldn't be a very smart decision.
Yeah. Might see 30 lives. Kind of got some interesting, like, doubled up goals here.
Yeah, there is some kind of obscure synergy on this card for sure.
And, you know, if you get really lucky, you're going to want to combine 300 coin stars with 140 in 2 stages. I halfway feel like the kind of prudent play there is to just get like normal Womp's 100 and you know, just do normal 100 coins, so you'll inherently beat out anyone going for the 140.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to rob out one goal from them that they were wanting out of that. And it's obviously going to take them, you know, still a pretty long time to get the 140. And especially like 100 coin stars, I feel like you're able to get a lot. I feel like the time difference between doing 100 coins as opposed to 140 is a lot bigger, considering like you practice doing 100 a lot. A lot of the like 130, 140 is kind of on the fly routing kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good to Xein go for the box here, and Fazerlazer is going for, and Badroenis as well. They're all going for the Womps here, except for Jalapinecone. So yeah, all of them will probably be racing for at least a 120 in this stage, and then probably, I would assume, the 140 as well. But again, it'll be a while until that one gets picked up.
And I believe with the way that the rules are set up, whenever someone's coin count goes over 120, they can go ahead and check off that first space. So they're not having to decide between like collecting the star and getting that goal first, or like not collecting the star and getting the 140 goal.
Yeah. As
Yeah, so we got
Phaser is
Phaser
actually
actually
the first
going to be
one.
claiming the 120 first. You see, like, the specific way that he's approaching the routing is because he wanted to be able to snipe that 120 first.
Yeah. And he's going up for that 100 coin star. You're back to where it was. So again, he could go for the 140 still. But at this point, if he's just... Oh, if he's going for the box, he's definitely going for 140 then.
Yeah. So we got Badroenis going over to JRB. There is 3 stars each from JRB and BBH. That one is a decently fast goal. Has some synergy with open 5 cannons.
Yeah, there is a 100
You go into
coin
Secret
here.
Aquarium star, and he is managing to get there first, which is nice. Yeah,
Secret
skipping out on that
Aquarium,
immediate... I think, honestly, Badroenis kind of has this right play here, where he's not going for the 140 goal. I think he got 100 coin in Wumps and just, went ahead and called it a day.
Yeah,
I
that one
think
can
that's
really suck a
smart
lot
play.
hanging out of you if you aren't careful.
Yep.
So, yeah, Badroenis...
Kind of an interesting tidbit, too, is... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
No worries. Yeah, Badroenis with opportunity to maybe take out... he's probably going to go for 100 coin Jeremy if he's in there. And then again, can synergize that with 5 cannons maybe, and then again, like you said, 3 JRB and BBH. So, yeah, Badroenis definitely, I think, has the best course of action so far.
Yeah. Now, it does look like Xein is going to be the victor out of the collect 140 in 2 stages, I think.
And he might be going for a CCN actually here.
Yeah. Any stage with a slide has so many coins.
Yeah.
So he's pretty well got this goal in the bag. Badroenis kind of going into CCM right behind. I think he's just kind of going for some stars to get to Dark World, I think. Might also be... There's a cannon here that he could be going for as well. And that cannon is sort of on the way to Penguin Star, I guess? I don't know.
So 87 leaving the slide here. I believe there is 78. Both inside and outside of slide each. So that'll put it at 154 total. 156 rather. It might be 77. I forget what the exact total is in the stage, but it's somewhere in that mid 150 range.
Right.
This Fazerlazer thought about heading into CCM here, but is opting not to do that. Heading back into Womps.
And Hal is going to go ahead and head to CCM as well. And I'm not seeing any goals in CCM. Other than, like, if you were wanting to collect 140 coins in 2 stages.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is maybe 300 coin stars.
Wait,
Just
what
have that
on
up one
earth
of
is
them.
Phaser doing? Doesn't he already have the 100 coin star here?
I thought so too.
Phaser might just kind of be messing around at this point. I'm really not sure what his strategy is right here.
Yeah. Not really too sure what his plan is here. Or if there even is one for that matter. Xein is closing in on his 140 coins. Gonna have to. There is 8 next to walking to work area, so he's gonna. Yeah, there it is marked off immediately.
Right, but like Phaser didn't go collect the CCM 140 coins, right? I mean, there's no way
No,
that
he
he's
didn't
going
go
to
in
be getting the
CCM.
140 coin goal. So that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like, it's just a very, very bad decision. I feel like I don't really know what. Yeah. Like I understand the practical side of like, if he's going to be doing the 140 goal, he has to do the star again because of him missing those coins. I just don't see why he's going for the 140 goal. And I think now he sees that, the star's already been taken, the spot's already been taken, so yeah, he's just gonna go ahead and abort now. I really kind of don't maybe he thought for some reason that no one else was going for it because it hadn't been claimed just yet, but I mean, it's one that was going to take a while to get to, so I don't
Yeah.
know why he would have thought that. And how kind of on pace to be the first to end up going downstairs for anything. Ooh, very, very close to death on that. Right, so we got Xein leaving CCM now after getting the 140 coins in 2 stages.
And Facer heading out into JRB. I would assume he's just going for 100 coins on JRB, and again, possibly some synergy there with open 5 cannons, and then 3 in JRB and BBH as well.
Yeah. I also just do feel the need to say that, like, you know, I know that I sound very, very critical, but, like, yeah, I definitely also understand how hard it is to route properly under pressure while you're still having to play the game actively, too. You know, you don't want to have to stop for a minute and actually think through the board and start routing. You know, you want to be able to play as much as you can. So whenever I say stuff like, I don't know why they would think to do it this way or whatever else, I'm not trying to, like, you know, say that they're stupid or anything else like that. You know, that's not at all. And I do apologize for whenever my tone gets too severe like that, you know, because routing this stuff is absolutely hard. And obviously all of these runners are trying their absolute best. So I think Fazer probably at least going for the 3 stars each for JRB, BBH. This sort of route has some interesting synergy to it. Like it's a bit more justifiable than the All Stars and JRB goal.
Yeah, and since you are probably gonna get 3 in JRB and BBH, it probably would have made more sense to have Shippy one of those. So that way you can do 100 plus reds, which I mean, I'm pretty sure done optimally 100 plus reds, 100 plus cave around the same speed. But of course, you don't know the 100 plus cave route, it's going to be a little trickier. Rather than just doing something you're more comfortable with.
You might actually have a bit of a race to lose hat, too.
Jalapinecone did mark that off already, so that's going to be everyone on the board here in this final match.
What else is he going to end up doing in basement here? I'm trying to... There is All-Stars in SSL, but that's the only goal here, so that's not quite as appealing.
Yeah, and that's going to be a pretty slow one, too, especially if you aren't too
I think
comfortable
just
with...
open 5 cannons. He's going to grab a star and then just go and leave, I think.
Probably.
Open Bowser throw not quite landing for Xein. Are there any LOL goals? I don't see any LOL goals.
Oh! Badroenis probably is doing that and just throwing in the corner, I'm guessing.
Probably, if I had to guess.
I'm pretty sure he's already got.
He's already got CCM 100. He's already got
100. Yeah. So this will be his 3rd one, and we were looking at Xein possibly taking that one as well. So it's gonna be.
Badroenis is really going with like a 5-head route here.
Yeah.
You know, being very, very efficient on everything.
Yeah, really just trying to make sure he has a good chance to take home the big money here. And he's doing a good job at it so far. He's probably the best routing I've seen today has been from Badroenis, but Xein not too far behind him in that regard. Xein's heading into Vanish Cap now. Probably going for Club Caps, DD. Or lives too, yeah. So maybe farming lives and again collect caps and DD.
Yo, yeah, that's a pretty quick start as long as you've got Vanish Cap. As long as you made that investment. Are there any? Let's see. There is 3 cap stage stars, so that might also partially be why.
Oh, I didn't see that one actually. So yeah, that would also make more sense.
Okay, so Xein's gonna go ahead and just start by farming lives here. And so I'm thinking that he might be kind of just giving the 3 cap stage stars one away. Just because, like I was kind of saying last time, you know, if you are planning on doing Vanish Cap, it is most optimal to do that. Well, okay, so he is just getting Vanish Cap first, you know, so he doesn't have to deal with the text crawl again, but he is just going to be giving up on the stage start, looks like.
Yeah.
He hasn't gotten really any of the reds, just ones that have happened to be in his path.
Yeah. Yeah, just go ahead and
nice tech skip there.
Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely going for 20 lives. I'd be surprised if he didn't go for 30, but that is going to be a bit of a bigger time investment.
Yeah, I think it would only take 2 more repetitions of the stage to get 30 lives, so I think it is to his advantage to go ahead and get it, especially considering that's one that can't be sniped by anyone else.
Yeah, it's getting 3 lives each round, so it would be 3 repetitions, but again, that's like probably 20 to 30 seconds each repetition.
Oh, it is only 3 per round? My bad. For some reason,
I might be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it might be 4, but there are 4 in the stage, but I'm pretty sure the last one is by when the red coin star spawns, so
yeah, so he gets 3. Okay, it is 3. See, what was weird was before this round, I thought it was 3, and then for some reason watching him do it over and over last time, I guess my brain just got confused. I do not have a 5-head brain like these competitors.
His Phaser is going to be going for lives here as well, but Xein is way ahead of him.
Yeah, he probably just wasn't immediately thinking about the one in the cage. Because that, you have to, like, collect the 3 coins that are spread around there, right? Or 4 coins, I forget if there's one in that last corner.
I'm not too sure, actually.
I mean,
yeah, it probably is a checkpoint thing that you have to touch all the coins.
Yeah, 3, yeah.
Yeah, Packer. Thank you for the absolutely 5-head analysis, Packer, throughout this entire tournament, really. It's been really helpful for us commentating here.
Phaser trying to grab that red without hitting the switch. Interesting. Okay, and so Xein just needs 1 more 1-up. So, yeah, he's not even going to bother getting that extra 1-up here. He's just going to get it somewhere else. And, you know, since everyone else sees that the 20 lives goal has been claimed, I'm sure no one else is even going to want to attempt the 30 lives goal at all. So he knows that one's pretty safe overall for him.
Yeah, if you're already at 20, I mean, that just confirms that you're going to be behind in that. And like, unless the person who does have 20 just, like, somehow dies 50 trillion times, and, like, yeah, there's no shot.
Yeah. Yeah, and since he took that ledge grab there, may as well just get it right here.
Yeah, that might have been his plan all along.
Yeah, might have been an intentional ledge grab. I don't know. It would have been a bit faster, I think, if he just, like, held neutral whenever he landed. So just killed his speed immediately and then walked over there. But even so, he's got himself 3 goals. Badroenis, though, is trying to get upstairs as quickly as possible. And this is going to pay off some dividends, I think. Given the Secret Star and Wet Dry World is very fast as a goal. Secret Star and THI is very fast as a goal.
Yeah.
All-Stars and TTM is not too bad of a goal overall. I'm not sure it would be a good one to do first, but that's not too bad.
Yeah, it can definitely be a later one. When we get to the latter stages of the match here, that we were just looking for these last few tasks to complete.
Now, I am kind of curious whether, with how many stages Badroenis is visiting, at least 2 stars from 10 stages might halfway be on the table for him. That's one that I wouldn't be keeping track of at all, though, so I don't... That's going to be a weird one about marking it. Because, I mean, yeah, he might just want to collect some, collect a Shocking Arrow list real quick in Wet Dry World. Might want to collect the Mountain Club Star and THI real quick. Because he's certainly going to have, you know, probably a few over 20 stars. I mean, it's any stage you're going to bother collecting at least 1 star, and you've probably collected another one too, just to make it worth your while.
Yeah. Jalapinecone has already gotten, I believe, yeah, they've already gotten banished caps, so he's going to go for collect the caps here. And, you know, non-cap stream just doing lag reduction. Yeah, so let's increase his lead a little bit here, giving him a better chance to get that 3rd place prize here with about 12 minutes left to go here in this final round.
Yeah. It's kind of coming a bit down to the wire. So yeah, Badroenis going to go ahead and collect Secrets to THI, and we'll see if he stays around here. He wants to get 5 cannons ASAP too.
Yeah, repairing with that cannon with the Secret Stars, that's some
synergy, I mean, it's there. I mean, Cannon's so close. I mean, it's not something you really initially think about at all when you think Cannons and Secrets.
Right.
Well, there's
And likewise, if he ends up deciding to go for Shocking Arrow as a second star in Wet Dry World, he could also very easily get the Bomb Cannon alongside that.
for sure.
Just use the Water High strat for getting over to Shocking Arrow lifts. Okay, so I'm not sure he's going to be going for 2 stars from 10 stages.
Yeah, that's a pretty lengthy one.
Yeah, I think the main appeal of it would just be how much of it you've already done just inherently. Because I mean, he already has Womps and CCM kind of taken care of in that vein. I think he's gotten at least 2 stars in other stages he's been to.
I didn't see what happened there, but I heard Mario just start losing it there as he took a quick death, and that does technically put the 30 lives objective up for grabs again. But I mean, he's still only 1 behind. That doesn't really matter.
Right. Okay, so Badroenis has the secret. Okay, so he is going to go ahead and just go ahead and go for Cannon at least. I would think that he's going to go for Shocking Arrowless as well. I think that's kind of like the prudent decision there. But
Yeah, and you're right on there. Badroenis is going for that high water Shocking Arrowless strat there. I've actually never seen this, so I'm not too sure how this is going to work out.
oh, he's going to go ahead and give up on that, like not having to swim back over to it. It will work. You can get the ground pound to make contact with the box. It just, you've got to hit it right on. Oh, okay, so he's going to go back for the low star now. Like, I would need to go back and like see how exactly his previous routing went through, but I mean, he's got to have 2 stars in a bunch of stages.
I might have to. We can maybe have him check out for the round just to see how many he's gotten. But
yeah, got 10 minutes left. So
yeah, he's definitely close to that 2 for 10 for sure.
I think he's got his eye on at least 2 stars from 10 stages. Since I don't know why else he would have just gone
that's
back to that
that's the only reason he would have gotten airlifts for sure.
A bit confusing to me why he left THI immediately instead of going for, like I said, Mountain Club or the Island Club. Takes, I think, like about 25 total. So it's not a very long start at all.
Yeah, he probably just
maybe he just wants to get through cans as quickly as he can.
Yeah, either that or he just wanted to make sure he could get Lockout secrets before anyone else could. Because again, he's not gonna know where anyone else is in relation to him.
Yeah, looks like Xein's gonna be going for 6 from DDD, as well as 100 coin star. There's some decent synergy there, especially since like he's not going to be getting collect the caps for a goal anyway. So may as well just skip over collect the caps. Right. So Badroenis, it kind of looks like might be doing All-Stars and TTM, which isn't a bad goal.
Yeah, if he's gonna sink that much time into it though, he's probably not gonna be able to do 2 from 10 stages.
Right.
But again, at this point, he does have. Ooh, actually, not too sure if the scores are correct here, but I mean, Badroenis and Xein are really close to the first place here.
Yeah, if you look at the number of goals completed in this round, Badroenis does have that slight edge that he needs. And Badroenis just needs to win by at least 1. That's all. Because if they tie entirely, then Xein, of course, will win. But if Badroenis is up by 1, they will tie, and Badroenis does have the advantages in the tiebreaker. So right now, Badroenis is in that like driver's seat winning position, but we'll see if he's able to hold on to it throughout the end of the round here.
Very nice monkey glitch there from Badroenis. Oh, Pinecone having some spaghetti and TCM. This Fazerlazer with the 4 long jumps up the basement stairs. As he's heading his way into BOB now. Probably, I would assume going for all in BOB. That's the only reason to be going back there. With about 6.5 minutes left. Not too sure if there'll be enough time. There should be enough time for him to get it here, but...
Yeah, we'll just have to see.
And he gets the box stuck up there on the second box without any coins. Some interesting moments there, and then...
Alright, let's see how Badroenis' 100 coin ends up going here, because this maze movement can be very iffy.
Xein with the front sub attempt. And he's got it. Very nicely done.
Yeah, front sub is such a brutal strat. The scores on screen shouldn't be taken as like an absolute count. We're keeping like a private tally of like exactly what their scores would be.
Yeah, so most of the scores have been updated now, so Xein is still 2 points ahead.
Yeah, unfortunately,
so
it's not
in...
directly connected to the bingo card. So, okay, so Fazer's, I think, going to be going for All-Stars and BOB, it looks like.
Yeah. But, well, if he was, though, I mean, that's the only thing he can do here, but if he was, he would have probably done King Bomb Bomb and Koopa first, so he could open the cannon and have those extra 5 coins from the Koopa.
Yeah, true.
So, not too sure what his decision is here, but yeah, again, that's the only thing he can do here in BOB.
Yeah, meanwhile, Xein just finishing up the last of the 6 stars in DDD. So, I mean, it's pretty evident that, like, Badroenis and Xein will definitely be able to finish their, like, kind of second to last goals here. But I'm wondering if they'll have what their last goal will end up being, and like if they will have enough time to try to achieve it. I forget if Badroenis ended up going for Fire Sea Reds or not, because he could potentially try to finish off with a Bits Reds. Although if his pass round BLJs have been any indication, he might not want to mess with trying to BLJ up the 50 star.
God, he'd have to finish up TTM pretty quickly here, but he's got the longer stars out of the way from TTM, so just has box star. He probably only has the breeze, I'm guessing here. Yeah, he's just marked it off, so
I think it was probably the smart decision for him to do TTM rather than try to go fully for at least 2 stars from 10 stages.
Yeah.
I know I said earlier that I kept thinking he should have gone for 2 stars from 10 stages, but seeing how everything's played out so far, I'm not sure it would have given him any kind of real advantage going for that instead. So going over to Snowman's Land, no goal directly in Snowman's Land, unfortunately. But I guess that might be what he's going for, is trying to see if he can just get 2 stars from all the other Tippy stage. Because that is one thing that will work to his advantage, is that Tippy has got a lot of fast stars all the way throughout. All of upstairs really does. So Xein at 5 total goals, Badroenis at 5 total goals. So a bit of it will kind of come down to who's able to achieve the fastest goals the fastest. So yeah, Badroenis doing the fastest 2 stars in Snowman's Land. Now, that's kind of interesting that he's going back to Snowman's Land. Is he just exiting course? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna be going to get the wing cap here. I don't really see anything that he could be doing that with. He's gonna try to do all BOB.
Or maybe he wants just sky jump and BOB.
Maybe, yeah, because I assume he's only gotten bomb clip at the
That's
beginning.
the only other like fast star, I think, right? Like, yeah, everything fast in BOB only involves like, this is kind of smart. He knows that he's only gotten 1 star here, so this can be added to his 2 stars from 10 stages count. Xein's just kind of chilling at this point. I guess he's, you know, maybe hoping that Badroenis isn't able to finish up this goal. Kind of
again-
leaving it in Badroenis' hands whether or not Badroenis wins. So now Badroenis needs 2 stars in some stage somewhere.
If he can get quick BOJs, he might be able to do like 2 flippy stars in TTC, but that's probably gonna be his only option here. Or he's gonna try not BBH.
Something in the basement.
Yeah, minute and a half left here. I'm not too sure what stage he could be going for here. I'm not even really sure where he's been. He can go try for
Going to
SSL.
SSL.
And has he got any stars?
All stars
here
in
yet?
SSL never got taken.
Ooh,
Yeah, he's got
he hasn't
nothing in
done-
SSL.
Oh, so you can get Klepto and top of pyramid here, and that's I'm pretty sure I'm keeping track. But it's probably gonna be his 10th stage. He should have enough time to do that too.
He's at like either 9 or 10, and I'm assuming if he's going through the trouble of doing this, he has to be at 10. So. And I mean, yeah, this. I really hope. I don't want to say anything. I don't want to curse it. Okay, we're in the clear. We're in the clear. Okay.
Okay.
Because I mean, I was afraid that if I said something about like, oh yeah, he's not going to be able to lose 30 seconds on this star, he would end up like dying twice to shiny top or something. So he's not going to mark it yet. I guess maybe he's not entirely sure that he has the goal. So
Maybe.
and if he doesn't have the goal, then he
Yeah, there's no way he can get enough stars now. That was really his last chance.
there's nowhere else he could get a star from. You know, he's headed to THI, but yeah, the timer's up now. So I guess we'll have to kind of check in the back room what all stages he's got 2 stars from.
Okay, so looking at the final scores now, and ooh. Okay, so the final scores as of now: Phaser with 9, Jalapinecone with 17, Badroenis with 25, and Xein with 27. That needs to be updated still on the thing, but so if Badroenis, he's tied with, as it stands now, he's tied with Xein.
And so
for
yeah,
TAS on this 3rd round.
I think Badroenis just confirmed that yeah, he didn't actually manage to get the 10 stages, unfortunately.
Okay, so yeah, that is going to be a dub for Xein.
GG's. And so yeah, the final score standings are for Badroenis, 17 for Jalapinecone and 9 for Phaser. And so we've now got Xein with us in the booth. How are you doing? How are you feeling with that $175 prize?
Oh my, that's probably my biggest tournament winning ever.
Nice.
Let's go.
I've never done Lockout before. This is literally the first time. I've done Lockout three times in total, and that was this tournament.
Nice.
So yeah,
Let's go,
was
dude.
pretty interesting that I won.
So what were your thoughts on the cards? Like, you know, kind of walk us a bit through like each of the rounds. Like when you first saw the cards, what was your line of thought of like, okay, I want to try to go for this sort of route, and you know, what was kind of running through your mind?
So these cards were generally, I'd say, pretty good, except the last one was kind of iffy. But so I didn't play any of the cards right, in my opinion. I messed up 130 and 140 in the first round. Then I did all on CCM, and that put me pretty far behind in stars, so I wasn't able to go upstairs and get those juicy goals. So I was like, all right, let's do the goals that nobody will ever think about getting, and that kind of worked out, tying with Badroenis. Game 2, the same thing happened. It took me too long to go to Bowser 1, so I had to do, in all 3 races, I had to do things that nobody would like ever think about doing, because I was always really far behind to upstairs. But in the first 2 matches, I was usually first to go upstairs, so I don't know what happened this time.
Yeah. And was, you know, on the last card here, were you a bit nervous, like, you know, kind of just stopping playing a few minutes before the end, you know, just having to wait to see if Badroenis would be able to find another goal to achieve?
I was like, yep, I lost. Like, just waiting. I was waiting for my doom. But then I saw you.
I thought for sure Badroenis was gonna get 3 Bowser Stage red coins.
I didn't do piracy reds. I probably should have. But I also made the mistake of trying to get cannons upstairs because I saw no one had done it yet, and then I think that was Hollow's blue, and he got those. And then I was trying to get 2 stars from 10 stages, and I was 1 star away in THI from doing that.
I popped up so hard.
I mean, it's
like
certainly
30
really
seconds away,
understandable
probably.
why you didn't end up getting that star in THI. But I mean, yeah, whenever you left that stage that early, I was like, he should have gotten the Island Clip star. But I mean, I probably would have ended up making a similar decision or something.
Yeah, I guess I just didn't know who was where, you know, because I wanted to make sure I got both of like the free upstairs goals before I did TTM, and I think like they could have routed it better. 3 Bowser Stage Reds probably would have been fine, but like my BLJs have taken like minutes both times, like they were horrible. I probably would have had, I mean, there's a lot of could-haves, but you know, like I was very close to finishing like a 3 stars in TDC and Rainbow Ride in like the first race or something. This one I missed out on like 120 in bombs by like a second and a half. I think in race 2, I was doing the same route as Hala, and I probably could have beat him to like 2 of those goals if I hadn't made dumb mistakes as well. So it's just how Lockout goes. It was a fun race.
Yeah.
It was very
Snipes
fun.
are everywhere.
We can avoid talking about my 140 in Womps. If we just want to never mention that. We can delete the VOD maybe. Saren?
I mean, I am curious just to ask, like what made you want to start it over again? Like, did you think that because the goal hadn't been claimed yet that no one was doing it or something? Or
yeah. Well, I was just rushing to 120. That's why like I skipped reds and stuff, and I was just, as soon as I heard the coin ding for the 120, I marked 120, and then I was like running around, and nobody got 140 shortly after me, and I was like, oh, I could just go get that, and then I was like, oh, I skipped too many coins. I need to not do this. And then I said, well, I'll just do it. And then I failed it like twice. I ground pounded one of the womps too early. It was a travesty.
it seemed like you were just getting sniped all over the place. That's really unfortunate.
Yeah, I was like, that's gonna be really sad if somebody gets 140 and I haven't got it yet. And it was very sad.
So I can imagine. And how are you feeling?
I'm pretty happy. I think I played pretty well, except for when I didn't. But that was less than when I did.
And taking a pretty cool third place. I mean, you know, you seem to be able to get a decent number of goals on each of the cards. It seemed this last round went pretty profitably for you overall, especially with those 2 cannon goals.
Those were for Joey.
Thank you.
But
that second race was the only one that I got a little tilted during, because I just bungled my routing really badly after failing Dark World a couple times.
Yeah, I'm sure anyone would be tilted after all of those Dark World issues. Was it you or Phaser that ended up taking a death to a crouch like really late in Dark World?
That was me. Yeah, I just started crouching on the thing and then slid off.
Oh god. Dude, I shared your pain in Dark World for sure. I had some, probably like 6 deaths.
Alright, well, shout outs to all the racers, all the comms for participating. It was an excellent event. I don't think we can leave out Drunken Dwarf in the shout outs. It's in the chat room. Please give your thanks to Drunken Dwarf for organizing everything, putting up some extra money for the prize pool, and all that. Also, shout out to UAP, our sponsor, the Urban Arts Partnership, for putting up prize pool not only for this match, but for the matches coming up. We got the SMO Bronze match and the SMO World Peace Open Finals. So it's going to be kind of a big night. We also have the OOT Finals going on later on. So if you guys want to check out the full schedule, it's down below. You can also check the link in the chat. But any final words before we get set up for the SMO Action Gamers?
Stick around for the SMO action.
Yeah, thanks for the tournament, man. This was a lot of fun.
Epic.
Everybody.
Yeah, bingo's rad. We gotta have more bingo.
It was lit, man. Do
You're
this
so
again,
good.
please. I want to win next time.
Bingo is such a fun category, and I'm really glad I got to at least commentate this match for it. And definitely stick around, everyone, especially if you've never seen OOT defeat Ganon. That's going to be a really hype set of races, I think. That's a really cool category.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a close one too. 2 hype competitors. But yeah, we're going to be back with the SMO Bronze match between King Carmen and 04 Dude in just a few minutes, so definitely stick around.